I'm 35 years old and I'm retiring to play golf full time. Now, I know that's a pretty extreme statement, and before we dive into how that's going to work, what it's going to look like, and what this channel is going to be, I know a lot of you are going to be asking, well, how on earth can I do that? So let me explain. About 10 years ago, as a professional dog trainer, I started an online business in the dog training world. I was able to build one of the biggest following in the dog trainer spaces with millions of followers. And then off the back of that, I was able to build two of the world's biggest dog training businesses. Now, I'm not a very flashy guy, and rather than spending that cash on Lambos and Rolexes, I actually invested a lot of that money, and it's left me in a position now where I have a lot of flexibility with what I want to do. The problem is, to build all of those things, I kind of became the cliche classic story of working 100 plus hours, 7 days a week, sacrificing my health, my family, my friends, my relationships, all in the name of building a business. That led to massive levels of burnout and left me questioning, why am I bothering doing the things that I'm doing? And after taking some time off last year and trying to get back into work, I realized that actually, I think I'm done running and building businesses. Now, the good thing is that my business runs a canine sanctuary, so I'm still going to be heavily involved in that. But in terms of running the business, I've promoted a CEO, I've grown a team to be able to replace me, which lets me step away and free up 40, 50, 60 hours of my week to dedicate to something else that I find much more fulfilling, which just so happens to be golf, having started 6 months ago. Which I suppose poses a follow-up question of, well, why golf? Well, like I say, back in all of them years of working all hours every single day building the businesses, not only did I sacrifice time with friends and family, I also massively sacrificed my health. I gained huge sums of weight, led to issues with my heart, and a cardiologist telling me that I'm not going to see 40 if I carry on the road that I'm on. So at the start of last year, I started a big weight loss and health journey, which led me to losing 140 pounds, which led me to feeling way better, which led me to want to get outdoors more. And then part of this whole, maybe I shouldn't be as stressed, maybe I should have hobbies outside of work, embracing my middle age, I thought, well, there's no time better than the present to embrace golf. So I had one lesson and I was absolutely hooked. That led to a couple more lessons, which got me more hooked, because the more I did, the more I realized how bad I was, but the more it made me want to be really good, which then led to my first ever round, which was an absolute disaster. And then the real addiction started of wanting to chase those scores down. And I've been working with this new obsession with golf for the last 6 months. And I'm really happy that I've got my handicap down from just under 38 to just under 20 in the last 6 months. But as I've done that, I've discovered that I absolutely love this game. And being in the fortunate position I am, I've decided that I want to go all in and see how far I can take it before it's too late. And I regret not making the decision why I could. Which brings us up to today of making that decision to retire from running my businesses to go all in on golf, which poses the next question of, well, what does going all in on golf actually look like? Does it look like playing 36 holes 5 days a week and jobs are good and you're a scratch in a year? My inclination is that that's absolutely not going to be the case. For me, this channel is going to document me not just going on this journey, but bringing you along on that journey with me of trying to discover what actually moves the needle in terms of improving at this game. Looking at how much equipment impacts improvement, working with different coaches under different areas, playing on different courses, being able to travel the world to try and play in some of the best courses in the world. And again, bringing you along for the journey of me trying to work out exactly what that looks like. It will continue to follow my journey of me improving my health, finishing the weight loss journey that I'm nearly finished with, continuing my strength training journey, chasing club head speed, working on flexibility, mobility, longevity, and all of the other things that hopefully will move that needle towards getting that 20 down to a 10, hopefully by the end of this year. That's my big goal. And then seeing how long we can go from a 10 down to scratch as the ultimate goal. So to kick this journey off, we need a plan. And what that plan is going to start with is, first and foremost, is getting out of this country in the winter, because that has been absolutely terrible for golf. So for the rest of January, I'm going to continue having lessons with my coaches, getting out if at any point there's an opportunity to do so, which there's snow everywhere right now, so most likely a no-go. Trying to get in on the sim as much as I can, and then getting over to Texas for all of February in the glorious mid-20s degrees C sun, joining a country club for the month, and really diving back into golf head first at that point on the course. All of which I'll be bringing you guys along for the journey with. So if you want to follow my journey of retiring at 35 to try and become a lunatic and chase that goal of scratch, then make sure you subscribe, because I can't wait to take you on the journey, and we'll see you on the next video.